Hari, 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 Hari. Okay, so let me get this out of here. Mhm. Mhm. And also full screen. Okay. Namo Bhagavate. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Karmanyatasya Bhagavasyate Durgasrayotari Bhavatpalayanam Kalatmano Yadpamamada Uttasramaha Swadmam Ratam Kiyati Dirvidam Iha. Translation. My Lord, even the learned sages become disturbed in their intelligence when they see that your greatness engages in fruitive work, although you are free from all desires, that you take birth, although you are unborn, that you flee out of fear of the enemy and take shelter in a fort, although you are the controller of invincible time, and that you enjoy householder life surrounded by many women, although you enjoy in yourself. Purport. Pure devotees of the Lord are not very much concerned with philosophical speculation in regard to transcendental knowledge of the Lord, nor is it possible to acquire complete knowledge of the Lord. Whatever knowledge, whatever little knowledge they have about the Lord, satisfied in hearing and chanting about the transcendental pastimes of the Lord. This gives them all transcendental bliss. But some of the pastimes of the Lord appear contradictory even to such pure devotees. And thus Uddhava asked the Lord about some of the contradictory incidents in his pastimes. The Lord is described as having nothing to do personally. It is actually so because even in the creation and sustenance of the material world, the Lord has nothing to do. That the Lord personally lives to go over downhill for the protection of his unloved devotees. The Lord is the supreme Brahman, the absolute truth, a personality appearing like the man. But Uddhava had doubts whether he could have so many transcendental activities. There is no difference between the personality of Godhead and the impersonal Brahman. How then can the Lord have so many things to do, whereas the impersonal Brahman is stated to have nothing to do either materially or spiritually? If the Lord is ever unborn, how then is he born as the son of Vasudeva and Devaki? He is fearful even to the Kala, the supreme fear, and yet the Lord is afraid of fighting Jarasandha and takes shelter in the fort. How can one who is full in himself take pleasure in the association of many women? How can he take wives and, just as householders, take pleasure in the association of family members, children, relatives, and parents? All these apparently contradictory happenings bewilder even the greatest learned scholars, who thus bewildered cannot understand whether inactivity is a fact or whether his activities are only imitations. The solution is that the Lord has nothing to do with anything mundane. All his activities are transcendental. This cannot be understood by mundane speculators. For the mundane speculator, there is certainly a kind of bewilderment, but for the transcendental devotees, there is nothing astonishing in this. The Brahman conception of the absolute truth is certainly the negation of all mundane activities, but the Parambrahman conception is full with transcendental activities. One who knows the distinction between the conception of Brahman and the conception of the Supreme Brahman is certainly the real transcendentalist. There is no bewilderment for such transcendentalists. The Lord also declares himself in the Bhagavad Gita, even the great sages and demigods can hardly know anything about my activities and transcendental potencies. The right explanation of the Lord's activities is given by Grandfather Bhishma in Bhagavatam 1916 as follows. Nayasya karhichit rajan bhumaveda vidishitam yadvyana sayana yuktam ukyanti kavayopiha. Let's see. Where are we? Is that the end? Was that verse at the end of
yes.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay. There's no translation, okay.
No.
Yantimirandasya Gyananjanasalakaya Chaksu Militam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurve Namaha Nama Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prastaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swami Niti Namane Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pacharine Nirvisesa Sunyavari Pastyatya Satarine Vansha Kalpa Tarubhischa Vipa Sindhu Pe Vacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Srivasadi Gaur Bhaktivinoda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Krishna says in the Bhagavad Gita, I know everything that's happened in the past, everything that's happened in the present, and everything that will happen in the future. I also know all living entities, but me, no one knows. So, to know God, one has to understand him through the process of bhakti. As Krishna says in the Bhagavad Gita, only by unalloyed devotional service can I be understood as I am. He's speaking to Arjuna, and thus be standing before you. Only in this way can you understand the mysteries of my existence. So to understand God means you have to be on the same level as God. But God can reveal his knowledge, the knowledge about himself to you when you qualify in your bhakti. In other words, when you develop love for Krishna, Krishna reveals everything about himself within your heart, within your mind. That is the process of devotion. It cannot be God cannot be understood simply by reading books. We get a little indication from Shastra about the nature of the absolute truth. But here it says even great souls become bewildered about the Lord's activities. And they study Shastra, but at the same time, they can't understand why. Although he is full in himself, he acts like he is in a position of being needy. He has to have a family, he has to have children, relatives. He appears to be, hiding from an enemy, although for him, everyone is afraid of him still. So he acts like an ordinary person, and this is his Leela. He takes his mood of Vrindavan, and he also applies it into this material world in the area known as Vrindavan also. So when Krishna performs these activities in the material world, they're just prototypes of his activities in the spiritual world with his eternal loving associates who don't see him as the Supreme Lord, but see him as the most attractive personality with many good qualities. Even if you tell them that he's God, they're not so much interested in. They're more interested in him rather than his position as being the supreme, because he's so attractive. That's why his name is Krishna, because he attracts everyone. And therefore his pastimes are attractive, but at the same time, it says here, contradictory or bewildering, even to great souls. Why? Because there's no need for him to act in an ordinary way, but he does, just to perform his pastimes with his devotees like that. He likes when when Radharani chastises him. He likes when his mother ties him up. He likes when the cowherd boys jump on his back and wrestle with him and beat him in wrestling. So all of these things are transcendental. He is not what we say in any compromised position, but he acts like an ordinary person just to give pleasure to his devotees. Just like to worship God is very nice, but take it from the position of God. The position of God is everyone is just glorifying him. But where does he get his pleasure? So much, does he get pleasure from being glorified all the time? Not really. He gets pleasure from his interaction with his devotees who act in a normal way, like people in the material world, but they do it out of love for him. And therefore, he is the personality of Godhead. He has he has feelings, he has emotions, he has friends, he has enemies, so-called enemies. In other words, he takes the mood of an ordinary person, but on a higher level, where he enjoys those reciprocations with his devotees. And therefore, people can't understand why he acts the way he does, because there's no need for him to act like that. He is way beyond all of these things. But that's for those who see him as God, those who see him as Krishna, the personality of Godhead, who is the lovable boy in Vrindavan, will appreciate and become overwhelmed with attraction and happiness when they play with Krishna, when they chastise Krishna, when they in other words, when they do different things with Krishna, like we do here in this material world. Well, that's Krishna. But still, no one can understand him simply by this connection. He's understood when he wants to be understood, and the qualification for understanding him is pure love. When one reaches that stage of pure love, then one can understand God, why he does what he does, how he interacts with different living entities, how he connects with the material energy in different ways, in other words, all of the nature of God becomes revealed to the devotee when the devotee worships him in pure loving devotion. So that's Krishna. So here, Uddhava understands everything, but still, he's astonished to see how great Krishna is, although he's acting like he needs something, he's in need of something, he's fearful of an enemy, he is surrounded by women, but he needs none of this because he is Atmarama. He's full in himself. In fact, we are not full in ourselves. We need something in our life to make us complete. But what does that need? Our need is our relationship with Krishna. And then we are complete and happy and fulfilled. But aside from that, we always feel there's something lacking in life if we don't have a relationship with the source of our existence, which is the Supreme Lord himself. So therefore, people try to fulfill those needs on a material level by connecting with relatives, friends, parents, society, to fulfill that need of satisfaction of relationships, which is natural. But on a material level, there's always two problems. One, it can give you complete fulfillment. And two, it's under the influence of time. That means time will change everything. And once something that was what once was is no longer there anymore. In other words, time changes everything. So, but with Krishna, time works in such a way as it brings the devotee closer and closer to Krishna. In the material world, time brings something up and then it destroys the same thing it brings. But on the spiritual time factor, which is the internal energy of Krishna, it brings the devotee closer and closer to Krishna until the devotee is directly associating with Krishna, free from the cycle of birth and death, and is there in the spiritual world. So, therefore, that need of fulfillment is always there within the living entity, but it can only be fulfilled perfectly and completely in our relationship with Krishna. But Krishna, he's in and of himself full. He needs nothing outside of himself. But he does have a particular nature, and his nature is a loving nature. And love means two. So the whole purpose of existence is to exchange love with Krishna. Therefore, Krishna expands himself into the different living entities just for the sake of loving relationships. We are part and parcel of Krishna. We come from Krishna, but our purpose is to exchange loving relationships with Krishna. And that satisfies Krishna because love means two. Therefore, when Krishna plays the role of God, he does that from an all-powerful position as the controller. And he does that through the material energy. But when he wants to enjoy, then he becomes the greatest of all enjoyers in loving relationships with his devotees in the different relationships, such as friendship, parental affection, conjugal love, or just ordinary service. That's Krishna. So what we're seeing here is not a contradiction, it's just the nature of God. Unless you understand the nature of God, you will see it as a contradiction. So therefore, the process of bhakti is to learn about Krishna and to understand his nature, and also to try to fulfill that nature by serving him in different ways. And Krishna enjoys loving relationships. But there's only one person who can really satisfy him completely, and that is Radharani, because her love is so great that he can't even understand it, and it attracts him completely. Although Krishna is attracted to all of the gopis, and all of the gopis want to be with Krishna, but Krishna, because he is by nature a lovable person, a loving person, because they want to have love with him and they show their love for him, he exchanges love with them. But he's never fully satisfied unless he's with Radharani. Then his satisfaction is complete, because only someone greater than him can give him the happiness that he needs, or not needs, but the capacity of happiness cannot be fulfilled by anyone except Srimati Radharani. Krishna even thinks, he said, anyone who can give me happiness? Only somebody who's 100 times greater than I am. But who is that person? And then it comes down to understanding it is Srimati Radharani. So to connect Radharani with Krishna is the greatest form of service that one can perform for the pleasure of the Supreme Lord and his internal energy, Radharani, like that. So Krishna is a person. Yeah, but he's cool. Cool in the sense that whatever he does is amazing. It appears to be contradictory, but at the same time, it's not. Okay, so we'll stop there and open it up for some questions.
Thank you so much, Maharaj. Devotees, if you have any questions, comments, realizations, please unmute yourself and ask. You can type it in the chat and I can read it for you. And it will be nice to have your cameras on, please, if you can. Thank you. Hare Krishna, Krishna Kaviraj Prabhu, please go ahead.
Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna, thank you. Guru Maharaj, please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. Guru Maharaj, you're talking about, you gave us a lot in that class, and I was trying to piece together certain pieces of it. For example, you were talking about one developed love for Krishna. We all want love for Krishna. Simultaneously, we're trying to develop intelligence and cleanse the mind and cleanse the consciousness. And is there a structured way in which this cleansing process works then? Like,
Yeah.
when does the heart get purified? When does the mind get purified?
It is, yeah, there is a structured way. Yeah, it's the process of bhakti is gradual, going from one level of purification to a higher level, till one becomes fully purified. It includes transcendental knowledge up to a certain point. At one point, transcendental knowledge is no longer needed, and then it becomes just attraction automatically. Before then, renunciation of material activities and knowledge of our relationship with Krishna must be cultivated. When that becomes mature, and then one gets fixed in devotional service, one develops an attraction for Krishna. And then that attraction carries one beyond knowledge and renunciation. And there's no question of cultivating knowledge and renunciation separately. It becomes part of that experience of loving relationship. Everything is included.
Okay.
That's mentioned. Yeah.
Thank you, Guru Maharaj.
Yeah, there's a verse in the Padma Purana explains that no one can know Krishna simply by studying scriptures, by having great intelligence. None of these things attract Krishna, only bhakti. But to get to that stage, one has to cultivate the difference between what is favorable, anukalena, and what is unfavorable, pratikul. What to avoid, what to accept, what activities are designated for my spiritual progress, and the ones that really don't really help me much to avoid that. In other words, there is a process of understanding what to do and what to avoid, which is the cultivation of certain types of knowledge, transcendental knowledge like that.
I hope that answers your question.
So, yeah, knowledge is there up to a certain point, but when one reaches spontaneous attraction for Krishna, knowledge becomes a concomitant factor. It's automatically included. It doesn't have to be cultivated separately.
Thank you, Guru Maharaj. Can that attraction for Krishna be in specific forms, or would it be in any
Yeah.
and every form?
Yeah, there's different ways to get attracted to Krishna. There's different elements about Krishna that are attractive, some more than others. Most devotees are attracted by his beauty. That becomes more of the focus for devotees. But then he's all powerful. He's all wealthy. He's full of knowledge. He's famous. And he's also the most renounced also. These are all qualities that are attractive. You see it in the material world. People are chasing after these qualities. When someone is wealthy, they become attracted to that person. Someone is famous also. Someone is exceedingly strong also. Someone is beautiful also. Someone is, what we say, knowledgeable. These things attract people in the material world, but Krishna has all of these qualities in full.
Does that include his
Therefore,
name?
that's why he's called Bhagavan.
I find his name sweeter than any other form.
Congratulations. If you keep chanting his name, when you see the deity, then you'll also see the personification of that same name in transcendental form.
Thank you, Guru Maharaj.
Thank you. Thanks, Krishna Kaviraj Prabhu. Prachi Mataji, please go ahead.
Hare Krishna, Maharaj, please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. Thank you, Maharaj, for this such, amazing class. I was thinking Vyasadeva could have easily not talked about the bewildering aspects of Krishna. He could have just saying Vyasadeva, when he is talking about Krishna and describing in Srimad Bhagavatam and different Vedas and Puranas, he could have omitted or excluded the bewildering aspects of Krishna, but they are there in the scriptures for a reason. And I believe having that complete understanding of Krishna is so much more important than just knowing, knowing Krishna partially. Is that the right understanding, Maharaj?
There was that part when you were speaking that the words were breaking up, so I couldn't catch the whole thing. Can someone summarize what she said?
Maharaj, Prachi Mataji is saying that Sukhdev Goswami could have skipped or excluded the part which is bewildering to the general public. So, for example, he's getting married to 16,100 wives. But what she's saying that we should know the all complete aspect of Krishna rather than the partial aspect which we think that it's God-like aspect rather than the bewildering aspect. Yes.
Yeah, both. That's why Bhagavatam is successive in bringing Krishna from different levels all the way up to the 10th canto, where he is Krishna and Vrindavan. So yeah, it's verse by verse. First, Krishna is a very powerful personality who gives knowledge to Brahma. And Brahma takes that knowledge and then makes it manifest in the form of the creation of the material existence. Yeah. So before you can understand Krishna in Vrindavan, you have to understand that that same person who is the cause of all causes is that same little boy who's playing with monkeys and eating butter that he stole. He's the same person who is the father of Lord Brahma. Teni Brahma Ida Adi Kaviye. That's why everything is given in a very complete aspect of the absolute truth, not just partial. Partial means lack of understanding.
Maharaj, as a follow-up question, you were talking about Krishna manifesting in all living entities, just to experience that love. How do we cultivate the mood of seeing Krishna in everybody's heart?
Vidya Vinaya Sampane Brahmani Gavi Hastani Suni Chaiva Supakecham Pandita Samadarshanaha. One who sees with Krishna actually sees. And that quality of vision, or that vision, is something that comes by way of Premanjaritam Bhakti Vilochit. In other words, purifying the heart. When the heart becomes pure and the mind becomes free from all misgivings, then one can understand the absolute truth as he is. And one can see things that ordinary people cannot see. They're seeing the forms. We can see beyond the forms into the spiritual essence of existence. Because the forms are actually just manifestations of the external energy, whereas the actual reality of existence is spiritual. So to see a person not simply as a body, but as a spiritual being, and that particular level of realization is called Paramatma realization, to see God in the heart of all living entities. There's two souls in everyone's heart. One is God, and the other one is you. So to see that, or to at least theoretically understand that, we can theoretically understand it simply by hearing from Shastra. But to actually see it, that requires purified vision. But that's that verse from the fifth chapter of Bhagavad Gita. What is it? 5. What's the actual number of that verse? Vidya Vinaya Sampane Brahmani Gavi Hastani. 5 something. Just go down the list of verses and we can pick it out. Go down, go down, go down. I think it's
18, Guru Maharaj. We just passed it.
Yeah, 18. There it is. 18. Vidya Sampane Brahmani Gavi Hastini Suna. Translation. If somebody can read.
The humble sages, by virtue of true knowledge, see with equal vision a learned and gentle Brahman, a cow, an elephant, a dog, and a dog eater, outcast. Should I read the puppet as well? Good match?
Yeah.
Yeah. A Krishna conscious person does not make any distinction between a species or caste. The Brahmana and the outcast may be different from the social point of view, or a dog, a cow, and an elephant may be different from the point of view of a species. But these differences of body are meaningless from the point of view of a learned transcendentalist. This is due to their relationship to the Supreme. For the Supreme Lord, by his plenary portion as Paramatma, is present in everyone's heart. Such an understanding of the Supreme is real knowledge. As far as the bodies are concerned in different castes or different species of life, the Lord is equally kind to everyone because he treats every living being as a friend, yet maintains himself as Paramatma regardless of the circumstances of the living entities. The Lord as Paramatma is present both in the outcast and in the Brahmana, although the body of a Brahmana and that of an outcast are not the same. The bodies are material productions of different modes of material nature, but the soul and the supersoul within the body are of the same spiritual quality. The similarity in the quality of the soul and the supersoul, however, does not make them equal in quantity. For the individual soul is present only in that particular body, whereas the Paramatma is present in each and every body. A Krishna conscious person has full knowledge of this, and therefore he is truly learned and has equal vision. The similar characteristics of the soul and super soul are that they are both conscious, eternal, and blissful. But the difference is that the individual soul is conscious within the limited jurisdiction of the body, whereas the super soul is conscious of all bodies. The super soul is present in all bodies without distinction.
So there's an explanation of that consciousness. But to reach that consciousness means to purify yourself. So as you go through the process of purification, your consciousness changes. Your consciousness changes. Your perception of reality changes accordingly. So just stay with it, and you'll get there. It's guaranteed. One who sees me and everything in me, I am never lost, nor he is ever lost to me. And so you can't surreptitiously implant that consciousness on your mind. It has here, the verse teaches you, at least from the theoretical point of view, you can understand theoretically that what you're seeing as another person is just their body. You can't see them as a soul, but you know, because the body is there, the soul is also there. And because the soul is also there, the super soul is also there. At least you can theoretically understand it. And if you stay with the theoretical understanding, you can come to the realized point.
Thank you, Maharaj. I hope that answers your question, Prachi Mataji. Dari Mataji, please go ahead.
You were first, Victor, if you want to ask the questions.
Okay, my question is related with Prachi Mataji Maharaj. As we see that this characteristics of seeing a dog and a Brahman is on the equal stage is a characteristics of a Paramhamsa. So we know that we have Kanishta Adhikari, Madhyama Adhikari, and we have Uttama Adhikari. So does the Madhyama Adhikari has to reach to the stage of Paramhamsa to go back home, back to Godhead? So basically when we are leaving our body, do we have to be at that stage that we see everyone equal?
Well, you have to purify your consciousness, that's for sure. Don't put any labels on it. You come to this stage of purified consciousness. Cheto Darpana Marjanam, as you chant the holy names of the Lord, you purify your consciousness and you come to the spiritual platform. Sometimes people can see it even on a very beginning level of practice, and sometimes those on a higher level still can't see it. It's just a matter of consciousness. Okay. So let's see. We have we have Daria.
Yes.
Today's class is going to be a little bit cut because I have a very extremely tight schedule. So we can take Daria's question. If there's anyone else, they should put their hands up now and not wait, because soon we'll have to end the class.
Yes, please
Okay,
go ahead,
Daria,
Mataji.
go
Yes.
for it.
Thank you very much. Hare Krishna, my humble obeisances of the Srila Prabhupada and you, Guru Maharaj. So I was wondering, because on the highest level, when one develops the relationship with Krishna, and then all the knowledge is revealed. But I was just thinking, for example, the gopis or the cowherd boys, they don't know, or they don't know that Krishna is the absolute supreme truth, or they might be covered by the Yoga Maya, if I understood correctly, but I don't really understand what's the difference between like them, because we are also covered by Maya. And we, if you could maybe.
What's the difference between one who's covered by Maya in the form
And
of external energy, and one is covered by Maya in the form of the internal energy.
yes,
Yeah, the one covered by the internal energy, they're fully engaged in devotional service. They're absorbed in Krishna. We're not absorbed in Krishna. We're maybe in and out of that consciousness because the Maya element there diverts our attention away. But Purnamasi or Yoga Maya brings the consciousness of Krishna to the devotee in a way that they can interact with Krishna in different moods. It's like a drama. It's like a drama being played out. Everyone's playing their part within the drama. But for those who are not into that level, they're simply, standing outside of the movie theater waiting to get a ticket to get in. That's us. So yeah, keep going. Don't quit. You'll get there. Chant the holy names, associate and serve with serve the devotees, read the books, and chant and dance. Absorb your consciousness in Krishna. If you don't, Maya will absorb whatever consciousness is not absorbed in Krishna will be absorbed in her service. You have a choice. Constantly you're choosing between Maya and Krishna, Maya and Krishna. Continues every second is a choice. For those who have actually perfected, they don't have to choose anymore because they're in that energy and they're not going to go out of it. But for us, we're still trying to get into that energy, into that mood of, continuous absorption in Krishna. So we have to make an effort. Otherwise, Maya's effort will divert us away to material activities. Yeah, you're either Maya conscious or Krishna conscious. You have a choice. There's nothing in between.
but the knowledge is already there, no? And it's just that we are covered by Maya. Or do we get this knowledge from Krishna? Maybe
Yeah, if you want to understand things, you have to remove those coverings. Now, the first step in removing the covering is stop trying to enjoy the material world. As soon as you do that, you're in stage one of getting rid of the coverings. As long as you're still trying to enjoy in this material world, you never can come to a higher consciousness. Krishna consciousness starts when you stop trying to enjoy this material world. That's where it starts. And even if you have desires to enjoy in this material world, if you don't act on them, then you're in a position to make advancement towards Krishna. But if you have desires and you're still trying to fulfill those desires, you haven't begun spiritual life. So what is those material desires? It's a whole list of them, So I want to be happy through the senses, the mind, and the intelligence in contact with the objects of the senses in this material world. I'm not looking for happiness in this material world. I'm looking for opportunities to serve in this material world. I see the happiness in this material world as just some play of the energy. There's no happiness there. It just appears to be the way it is. It's just like you can see smoke. Smoke floats in the air. But if you try to grab smoke, can you grab it? No, can't grab smoke. But you can see it and you can go for it. Therefore, you see something in this world and you think it's going to give you pleasure, so you try to enjoy it. And that is called Maya. Maya, what is not? So just direct your consciousness towards Krishna. Therefore, we do that through activity. String a series of spiritual activities, one after another, where your day is full with Krishna. And then you're in the spiritual energy. And when that becomes developed, then you're on the spiritual platform. Right now, we jump back in and out.
I hope that
Krishna
answers it.
says, always remember me. You can remember Krishna anytime, any place, anywhere, in any situation. What's stopping you from remembering Krishna? Just our attachments to this world, that's all.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank Jaya Mataji. Shridevi Mataji, please go ahead.
Okay, last question. I have to
Yes, Guru Maharaj,
depart.
very quickly. My humble obeisances to you, Jai Srila Prabhupada. Guru Maharaj, you said Krishna is a person, and you said that so emphatically. But what will it take for people to understand that Krishna is a person, a transcendental person, and the only person who we have a complete relationship with?
Well, you're a person, and he's the source of all existence. So how can he be anything else but something of his creation? How can person come from imperson? Can't. Imperson comes from person, not the other way around. The energy comes from the source, and not that the energy produces the source. So you're a person, and Krishna is also a person, and therefore you can interact with him because you both are personalities. The soul also is personal. Soul is not just an energy, it has form, it has qualities, it has characteristics, it has activities.
Thank you, Guru Maharaj. Perfect answer.
Yeah.
My obeisance.
Okay, I'm gonna have to go. I'm sorry. I'm being dragged out here. They're ready to tie me up and drag me out the door. So
Thank you so much, Guru Maharaj, for your time and association. Thank you.
I would
Thank
love
you,
to
Guru
stay
Maharaj.
here.
Hare Krishna.
You all look so transcendentally, what we say, attractive. So many smiling faces. So I have to somehow or other smile somewhere else right now. So
You are the one bringing smiles to our faces, Guru Maharaj.
Yes, that's what I was thinking.
Grumpy like anything. The only time we smile is here.
yeah, I was thinking, there's those little, what is those? Those elves. They were happy, sleepy, grumpy. What are they? What they were called? What? There was something around Christmas time. They were like,
Yeah, all the 12
Seven
elves.
dwarfs.
huh?
The seven
dwarves.
Snow
dwarfs.
White and the Seven Dwarfs, isn't it?
Seven
They were each
dwarves.
having a name like that. Grumpy, sleepy, happy, something like that.
Yeah, I was thinking Sri Devi is grumpy. Let's see. And Satyabhama is sleepy. And Gauri Priya is happy. She doesn't stop smiling.
I loved
As
what
if
you
you
said today. Krishna is cool. Yes. Yes.
so everyone has a little bit of each of the seven dwarfs in them. Well, summer I'll stay there. Okay, so I should go because schedule is super tight. So thank you very much, and we'll see you. Today is Friday. Tomorrow I'm not available, but I'll be back on Sunday for sure. So tomorrow somehow I'm traveling during the same time. Maybe if I get lucky, I can stop and do a program in the car. We might be able to do that. So let me see if I can do that. So if I can do that, then I can also do tomorrow's class. But I'm on the road for at least 3 hours. So anyway. Okay, thank you very much.
Thank you,
Thank you,
Guru
Guru
Maharaj.
Maharaj. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Thank you, Guru Maharaj. Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Guru Maharaj.
Thank you.
Keep reading the Srimad. If you read the Bhagavatam, all knowledge will be given through Srimad Bhagavatam.
Hare Krishna, Guru Maharaj.
Hari Hari, Hari Hari, Hari Hari.
Jai.
Hari 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 Hari
Hare Krishna.
Hari 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 Hari. See, Satyabhama, she's sleepy. She doesn't know how to end the class, you know? She's always sleepy.
I can't go if you don't go. I won't leave before you. It won't happen, Guru Maharaj.
Okay, I guess I'll have to end the class because if you don't. She can't find her computer. It's right in front of her now.
Please don't make me do that.
Okay, Haribo. Anyway, so have a wonderful day and don't forget Krishna, whatever you do.
Thank you, Guru Maharaj.
Hare Krishna. Thank you, Guru Maharaj.
Jai. Thank you so much, everyone, for joining. Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Satyabhama.
Thank you, Mataji.
Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Mataji.
Thank you,
Hare
Mataji.
Krishna.